We are good to go. What's up?
Oh, are we live?
Yeah,
Like for real?
yeah,
For real?
yeah. I said we're live.
Yeah, okay.
I was serious.
All right, buddy. I'm just waiting to hear my sweet, sweet voice on the playback through the.
Wait,
Oh, there it is.
there we
There
go.
it is. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Is it sound good?
Biggity banging.
Nice. All right.
Uh,
The audio of the actual like stream itself. I was testing it with the Animal Crossing, but since it's like gonna be like an actual human talking, hopefully they're not too loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, let me move the.
See, I always
mouse cursor out the way.
fix. See, I always fix it. You could just make it full screen.
No, I am gonna make a full screen. Just that
Okay.
I'm just getting the mouse cursor out the way.
See, I always go around it. Matt thinks this is a stupid thing to do, but I think I'm just too smart for him. Which is what I do is I just stream whatever direct from the Switch itself and just use my capture card to mix audio.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
What do you mean? What do I
your
mean?
capture card allows you to capture the Switch when it has YouTube on.
Yeah.
Oh, mine doesn't.
Shh. Secret.
Ooh, I'm telling on you.
Yeah, because YouTube videos are copyrighted information.
For some reason, you don't deserve to keep your content. What are you talking about? So yeah, how's everybody? Well, how are everybody in the chat doing? It's like we have 3 minutes left. What games are you looking forward to? Also, first off, just how was your morning?
Dusk.
That's not your morning, but okay.
Dusk.
Okay.
I want dusk. It's not gonna happen, but I want dusk.
It might happen. You never know. You got 20 minutes. At least, indies don't have to worry much about, production and stuff with this virus stuff going on because they're mostly just, what's it called? Digital releases.
Very interesting.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
very.
What's up? Alright, I gotta turn you down a little probably because
Just slide him right in here.
what level? What percent do I have? Colin, I have you at 101, so I'll just put you at 102.
Yeah, I'm straight 101.
Yep, there we go. Because all you 101.
100.
I mean, I actually need to get the stream up. Which stream are we following?
YouTube.
And yeah, YouTube.
Yubtub.
Yobtubs.
Hopefully, we're not all like a second off from one another like every other time we stream.
Fingers crossed.
We always will.
Oh man. Actually, I might have to turn you down a little bit more. You are just naturally louder than Colin, so I'll probably put you at 90.
Damn, boy.
That's fine. It's
1
fine. It
minute
means
left.
I'm noticed.
So real quick, Colin said Dust. Do you have anything that you want to say?
Did you say dust? I said dusk.
I said Dusk.
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to show, but hopefully it's good. Last time they did this, they had Cuphead. Like this time last year, they had Cuphead and Cadence of Hyrule. So just give me something of that caliber, please.
They're going to be showing
Don't
off
be
a
asking
big.
Too much, but...
They're going to be showing off a big indie port they were going to demo at GDC, but now they can't.
Oh yeah, totally forgot. I forgot all about.
Because that's what they've been doing. Is they'll be like, yeah, at Gamescom we'll have this cool big game, and then but now it's nothing.
Nah, there's nothing.
So we'll have like a Cadence or a or like a Cuphead moment. I'm sure it's just that it's starting.
Oh, wow.
M for mature. Is Dusk here?
Oh,
It hasn't started
how
for
are
me
you-
yet.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just started.
All right, started for me now. Yeah.
Hi guys,
Cool,
it just started
just
for
like
me.
that.
I'll start
Oh
deciding.
my god.
So Spazzy's here now.
Spazzy.
Why not?
What's up? Everybody's here. It's a party.
Everybody's here. So yeah, Colin, if you're slightly ahead of everyone else, make sure
Yeah,
you
I'll
delay
be-
your reactions.
I'll be quiet unless it's really hype.
Oops.
Oh boy.
Alright, everybody saying the audio's good. What is this? I've never seen this before.
I don't know.
It's probably a
Okay,
new
never
game.
Yeah.
You know.
like it's supposed
Funnily
to be,
enough.
right?
Can we can we not be those people? Can we not be the ones that are like, what the fuck is this? And then it's like, oh, it's a new game, you know, like how they usually are.
I do like
I like
the way
this.
it looks so far, honestly.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. It looks great.
I'm trying to think what sort of game it's related to. Like,
I'm
trying to figure out.
just really fucking cynical when people. When
I
people do that
enjoy
shit.
wall jumping.
Yeah, Blue Fire. Yeah, it's a new
Prince of
game.
Persia.
I really like how all like
Fire.
the Blue Fire, all the characters are like small, and like the monsters are huge size in comparison.
Hi everyone.
Nice
It looks like if
scaling.
Ninja Bread Man was good.
Sneak peek of some exciting indie games coming to the Nintendo.
You know, I bet if they implemented crunch in that game, the graphics would be 10 times better.
And that was the world premiere of Blue Fire.
Graphically, it looks really good.
Roby Studios.
It looks quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what sort of genre. Is it counted as an action game? Is it counted as a platformer? What's
Action
going on
adventure.
here?
Yeah, I think it's just like an action platformer, like a 3D.
I'm up for that. I love my
3D
3D platformers.
Yeah.
Summer.
It looks like a platformer. It looks like a cutesy Prince of Persia, is what it looks like.
I'm interested already.
Console exclusive or time console exclusive.
sono Fabio Caponia, director di Napster,
Hold on.
un piccolo
Oh
team.
no.
Is he talking about the game or himself? All right, I'm letting myself out.
Ah! Because he's
Da
bald.
fan dei grandi
He's really committed.
Boy.
He's really.
degli iconici anime giapponesi, abbiamo
He's a fan of anime. Let's
sognato
go.
di fare qualcosa che unisse
To make Italian anime.
volevamo un gioco che fosse un viaggio in un mondo magico, ricco di personaggi fantastici, di dungeon complessi da affrontare. enigmi
Someone
da
in our,
risolvere. Un
In our
viaggio
chat
che
was
noi
like
stessi
Legend of Ninja: The Wind Waker, and I'm like, can we not do this? Like, can we not be like, oh, I have to compare it to something I know?
e toccare il cuore come ha
Yeah, people want to
GameStop!
compare it.
Wait a minute, GameStop cancels midnight release events for Animal Crossing and Doom. No!
Classic anime film.
Oh well, this isn't related to the indie world thing.
It's
This
got
is
the
like
Google
very
Trends.
Nino
Fuck.
Kuni.
This reminds me of Nino Kuni,
That's what I just said.
but like from a top-down perspective.
Yeah, it looks very like graphically like Nino Kuni.
See, this is my very original observation that Spazzy definitely didn't say before me.
I don't know. I don't know how my connection is. You might not be hearing me. I might be a robot.
No, I think I just couldn't hear you over everyone else.
All right. I really hope that every time they show a developer for Baldo, that person is also bald. Like, it's just,
a small but remarkable
Oh boy, what's
in the North Atlantic.
it's Shelmiston.
Strange.
this donut country Katamari vibe?
I was, you know, this kind of looks like Katamari. Now I did what you did.
I've been curating the stories of this unique place for years, and here it is, my museum. But lately, well, it seems like I can do new things.
Boy, it's a museum. Museum simulator.
And well, it's not. A
This is by the publisher who made Edith Finch.
I am
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
dead.
Oh well.
Oh,
well then.
okay. I for a second thought this was
So this
Sail Away.
may be my inner goth talking, but I'm dying to explore the afterlife.
And I'm dying to try out those ghostly powers, Sam. X-ray vision. sign
Boy.
me up.
Wait, so
Although,
are
from
you
what
like
I hear,
observing other people's
Shelmiston may not be
lives
long for this world.
Guess
as
so.
a dead
But
person? That's
unraveling
kind of
Tiny
cool.
Island's ancient mysteries is gonna be
It's like
fascinating.
Driver San Francisco.
UK-based developer Hollow Ponds and Richard
Except
Boggs
not a
has no
driving
clue about
game.
shrine puzzles.
Apparently, we're a bit louder than the actual
Iron
direct
Dead
itself.
launches first on
That's
Nintendo
Well-
Switch
Turn that
That's
down
how
a
it's
little bit.
supposed to
exclusive
be.
later this year.
Yeah.
Like how much?
Yeah,
better
I
Good.
guess
is
People
that's
always
true.
complain we're too
We might be a
soft.
bit too loud.
And I'm the director of
Oh,
production.
so let me
at
turn
Talk
up the
Games.
direct then.
Hi there, I'm Melissa. I'm one of the producers and the marketing lead. We're here today to introduce you to our newest title, Bark. Bark is a 2D.
How
side-scrolling
unprofessional is it that I am
shooter
eating
where
a
you
salad
take on a four ferocious
while we,
animal
while
hunters
I'm live
trying
streaming
to
this?
liberate the
At least
Earth
you're
from
eating
fate.
I mean,
Right.
This is a
Drinking my
fun-focused
coffee.
game that builds a
I
cooperative
regularly
spirit
eat
while still
breakfast during
encouraging
Good Morning Source
competition. We
Gaming.
hope you enjoy playing this title as much as we enjoyed making it.
Just like mute your fucking mic when you're about to take a bite. Like, come on.
That's what I normally do, but like I thought it'd be funnier not to this time. I like shumps.
So- Yeah, we're getting a shmup.
Each animal
A
has
dog
distinct
shubba.
playstyle, and you can combine abilities to mix
Better
up
be the
fun.
ball of wisdom
With
in
easy
this.
couch co-op, this adorable party game is a Meowvelous fit for family gaming.
Meowvelous. Don't say Meowvelous, this is a dog game.
Console exclusive.
Cyanide and
Nintendo
Happiness,
Switch
what?
in late 2020.
Wait, huh?
Hey
You're-
everyone,
So
Chris
here's
Wilson, creator of
another
Cyanide
time console
and Happiness.
exclusive.
Joining
All
us
right.
today
Cool.
is a hideous mutant freak.
You know, the thing with those side-scrolling shooters is that it's a genre I've always liked.
What happened to your face?
What is this? Never mind. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Is it Cyanide and
Have you guys
Happiness?
not heard of Cyanide and Happiness?
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
have. It's
just
the
don't
old
watch
comic,
it.
the really dark comic book, or
Well,
dark.
now,
Yeah,
that's
It's the
online
webcomic
comic.
series.
No, but when you said
Yeah.
Cyanide and Happiness, what you're saying was a Cyanide and Happiness game.
Well, I assume so.
Josh,
Yeah,
uh,
it is.
Is
Like,
it? Oh, I thought it was just the creator just
Yeah.
announcing that
I mean,
he has
I
a
guess
game
so.
unrelated. Oh, okay.
I mean, they're big enough, I suppose, to make.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, is this like a point-and-click game, or is it an RPG like South Park?
It looks like it looks like an adventure game to me, if I had to guess.
Great. I'll definitely check it out. Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I do enjoy pointing and clicking a lot.
Chris?
Yeah, what I was saying before is with shmups,
While
like
we're waiting for
it's an
Chris,
indie.
get ready
There's
for
so
a
many
world
indie shmups out there that I'm
when
excited
Cyanide
because
and
there's
Happiness
so
Freak
many.
Apocalypse launches
Cannot
first.
hear you, Spazzy. You're so
It's a time
He's
quiet.
cutting out a
exclusive
little.
on Nintendo
I can
Switch.
hear him. He's just
Okay.
cutting out a bit.
Hola a todos, somos Chibi, un
Hey,
estudio
Spain.
español situado en Valencia. Os presentamos nuestro nuevo videojuego. Summer in Mara es una aventura
Summer in
tropical
Mara.
que cuenta la historia de
Ooh,
Koa,
that's a
una
nice
niña que deja su hogar para descubrir los secretos del océano. Hemos creado una
Is that
aventura
a
sobre el
pig
crecimiento y
in
sobre
that
cuidar
they're
la
holding in the
naturaleza.
back, or?
En Chibig hacemos juegos de granjas en lugares insólitos. En Summer in Mara tendrás tu propia isla que cuidar y además un barco con el que explorar el océano. Con más de 30 islas que descubrir y una veintena de personajes a los que ayudar, tendrás mucho que hacer.
Wow, that's
Relájate,
blurry.
Disfruta y nos vemos en
What, the
Mara.
game footage?
It might be
Yeah.
tempting to
Yeah,
just
it is.
back
That shot of the
away
lighthouse
from
was.
the
anyway.
beach in summer in Mara. But the ocean
Not
I don't know if that's
calls
just like
you,
really
feel your destiny
intense
and mystery.
anti. Oh no,
That's,
it's a
that's
furry
the game
game.
itself.
That gigantic
That's a
thing
furry
right there
game.
on your island.
Make friends.
That's a
farm,
furry.
Ah,
It's
this
explore,
reminds
and
me
craft
of Wind
as
Waker
Koa's
meets
adventure
Harvest
unfolds
Moon.
in a vibrant world with
Uh,
weather
I'm not-
events and a day-night
And as
cycle.
you can,
And contrary
be
to
a
its
Koopa
name,
Trooper.
you're not going to have to wait until summer to play this
Wind
game.
Waker is
Summer
the
in Mara's
Dead
first
Souls
party
of
club
references
is
for
Nintendo
anything
Switch.
that's cell
As a
shaded.
Dead
time console
Souls?
exclusive,
It's got.
Dark
It's got.
Souls.
Which means
It's got
players on
water,
Nintendo
it's like
Switch
Wind
will be the
Waker.
first to get these timed exclusive
Boy,
Koopa book
in-game
bag.
clothes
you get
and backpacks.
exclusive Koopa Trooper backpack.
Hi,
The
my
character
name is
art looked
Baltasar
nice,
Roger
but
from Nimble Giant,
the most
a game
nitpicky thing I could
development
say was
studio
that
in
the
Buenos
grass
Aires,
looked really
Argentina.
weird up close.
Quantum League is a first-person shooter with a unique time loop mechanic that
That's with
allows you to
time.
team up with your future and past
Ooh.
selves in 1
Ooh.
versus 1 and 2
Interesting.
versus 2 online battles.
Looper.
In this game, causality isn't fixed, and you can change the outcome of a round each time it rewinds. It's like your favorite time travel movie mixed with
feel
a
like
highly
I actually
competitive FPS. We sincerely
Tried
hope
this.
you'll enjoy
Yeah,
Quantum
I've
League.
seen this. Nice.
This online FPS
Quantum League,
is
okay.
a bit of a brain bender. But once you wrap
Did I say
your
Dead
mind
Souls?
around
That's
not a
the
thing.
time paradox mechanic,
Dead Souls is a thing. It's a really bad Yakuza game.
Oh.
You meant Dark
So check
Souls.
this
Yeah,
out.
I meant Dark
In
Souls.
the consecutive round of a match, you're joined by clones.
This
These
is like
are
a-
echoes of your past self, and they mimic your previous.
With the
Oh
way
wait,
that
so
they-
you have like a
Plan your
team
actions
battle,
each
but
round
like it's all you.
and you and your clones can faint
With the way that they were
opponents in
describing it, I
very
wasn't
dangerous
expecting like a
Quantum
sports
League
stadium
works
looking
onto
area.
Nintendo Switch in late
It's our
2020.
boy.
Hey,
Is he going to be
it's
showing
Rory.
off? Is he? Yeah, The Good Life. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. Good, more of the good
I
life.
thought we already knew it was coming to Switch.
I've never
I don't
heard
think we
of that.
did actually.
I
I mean, the
think-
Good Life's been strange because it's it didn't make its funding and then it kind of disappeared and then it came back and
I think what happened was it made its funding, but it didn't reach the Switch stretch goal. But everyone was like, "Yeah, it's coming anyway, isn't it?" And then Sweary was like, "Yeah." I'm down. I played the I backed this and I played the demo of it and I liked it. It's very cute.
okay. I haven't played it. I couldn't get.
Hope you're ready to use your
I didn't know
feline
much about
skills and
Swery until I
canine
played
prowess
Deadly
to pay
Prem,
off that
so
debt and solve
it looks a lot
the
better than I
problem.
remember the initial
These
one
are
making
no
me looking
small
though.
tasks.
Sweary, his game design has gotten way better since Deadly Premonition. Like way better.
Yes, you can ride
Oh,
sheep. That's
that's
all
where
I
it's
needed to
from.
know.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Enjoy the bizarre charm of Rainy
Looks
Woods when
okay.
Good Life.
Oh,
Nice, 2020.
is it coming? Wait a minute.
I'm Sean Murray. And I'm Stephen Burgess.
What?
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh,
It's
something
not.
different.
We'd like to show you a little of
Is it?
a game we're working on called The Last Campfire.
Last Campfire.
It's a new thing.
Last Campfire. It's a game about Ember, who's become lost.
Did you think it
and
was?
searching for a way home.
No Man's
The
Sky.
game means a great deal to me and the team.
Oh,
and we're
okay.
trying to make something about
That would've been
passion,
great, though.
empathy,
Because
and finding hope.
I'd be pretty down for No Man's Sky on the Switch. The game's like fantastic now.
And if I should add the good life to my fantasy critic. And the music. You play as Towley.
That character design, like the player character, looks kind of familiar. I can't remember what I feel like.
People are gonna start banging their keyboards and going, "It looks like Hollow Knight."
No, not Hollow Knight. Like I'm talking just the character design of that thing. It reminds me of something else. I can't think of what. Like some kind of like not a sock puppet thing, but I can't think of it. The game looks nice though. I like the what's it called?
Looks like a Castle Crasher character.
Not levels, but like
Nah. I mean, I'm liking the look of it so far. Is it like, what's the combat like? I suppose if there's any.
It might just be like a
journey type game.
Yeah, or even just like a puzzle thing, like a puzzle dungeon crawler or something. It's an experience game.
Yeah, I said a minute ago, the little dude reminds me of like a Castle Crashers
Hello
character.
Games, known for the vast
Similar,
galactic
yeah.
exploration of No Man's Sky, delivers an altogether more intimate adventure.
It is like a
This new
puzzle platformer.
It's so weird to see something else from Hello
When the last
Games after
Campfire
No Man's
launches
Sky.
for Nintendo
Like
Switch
even though
this
like
summer.
even though it's a good game now, it's still like wow,
If you're a
it's
fan
hard to
of games
imagine
with
it.
immersive
I mean, they were making games before, and they
I didn't know about them before.
Nice Q Games.
Q Games
Hey.
got you covered.
In Pixel Junk Eden 2, stages generate in real time based on your actions as you guide an inquisitive little creature called a Grimp on a journey to save its fellow Grimps and restore their gardens.
Each choice you make, from which Grimp you control to how you enhance and maneuver them, gives rise to a distinct sensory experience.
Enjoy this Wonderland alone or with a friend via local multiplayer when Pixel Junk
I
Eden
know
2
that.
launches on Nintendo
Pixel
Switch
Junk Eden.
this summer. Every good strategy game has its share
Oh.
of risks and rewards.
So enter the world of Faria at your own risk.
Because the reward is that Belgian developer
I've never
Advent
tried a game
Card
about
game
this one.
truly comes
I've
to
never
life.
tried a game
And
like this
really
before,
puts
but
your
I always get the feeling that I
strategic
wouldn't
skills to
like
the
them
test,
because I
as
feel
you
like it would be
craft
too
not
much for me to
only your
manage.
decks, but also the terrain of the
And I get
battlefield.
lost really
that's
quick.
possible.
There are lots of ways.
I'm
to
just not
unlock
really
cards
big
in
on
this
like
game.
tabletop games,
Progress
but
through
I
the
actually
size of a
really
solo
appreciate
campaign,
these types of
for
things
example,
coming to
or
Switch
play
because
draft
like
mode
the
or even PvP
handheld
decks.
and like pass and
There are
play
online
nature is
co-op
like
missions and some
is like
puzzles on
perfect
the
for
side,
that.
too.
We've got a few on
The
there now, like
Nintendo
10
Switch
maybe,
version
something
of
like
Faria
that.
comes with 4 free
Yeah.
cosmetic packs available to download
This,
for free.
this doesn't even look like
when
Hearthstone.
the
What the
game
fuck are you guys
launches
talking
later
about?
this spring.
Wait, somebody was saying
And
that's
after
like
that,
Hearthstone?
they'll be available
Yeah.
as in-game purchases.
Oh, nice. My copy of Doom
No, the
Eternal
card-
is ready to share.
The card design does look like Hearthstone. The game itself looks nothing like that, but you know.
Elder
Indeed.
Souls, Dark
Slaying
Souls
gods
2D
is
now.
no simple task, but hey, the bragging rights, legendary.
Nice sprite
In
work on
this
the
brutal
boss
boss
designs
rush
though.
battler,
Wow.
timing and precision are paramount.
And you guys are going to want to pay attention to
Wonder if
your
I'll get,
loadout here too.
wonder if I'll
because
get Doom
combat
early because
customization and
apparently
unlockable
they got
talents
it and they're ready to
abilities,
ship it
they're
to
all
me.
key to your survival.
Be among the
That'd be
first
neat.
to take up the
A lot of
challenge
summer stuff.
when Eldest Souls launches
No-
as a
no-
timed
no shadow
console
drops yet.
exclusive
Yes,
on
timed-
Nintendo Switch
timed
this
exclusive.
summer.
All right, everybody, so we're almost out of
Oh,
time
we got the
today,
sizzle
but
reel.
Before we go,
Okay.
we'd like to share a
Okay,
quick peek
yep.
at a few more indie games that are being
Blair Witch!
Amazing
Whoa!
developers
Hell
around the
yeah!
You're ahead of us. No.
You're way ahead of us.
Shut the fuck up! It's really hype. I'm sorry.
That is
Blair
cool.
Witch
though.
one.
That-
Which was the-
well, I'm glad
was
you
the first
you
one.
ruined it for us and thought it was hype when it's just a Blair Witch.
Yeah, but the game's good. It's a good horror game.
Yeah, but you know, we would have been more hyped if we got to see it ourselves just then
gosh.
instead of
We saw it, whatever.
just fucking with your Sky.
Oh, wait, no, that's not the game I thought it
Nice
was. Never
looking.
mind. I thought it was
Prettier the Sky Soldier.
Still looks nice though.
It's okay.
Whoa, Scar. God.
Oh, it's
So
like
another shmup type game.
No, it's a shmup, but I think it's mixed with something else.
Oh hey,
At least I
it's
thought
that
it might have
game
been
from
mixed with
the.
Breakout.
It's that game from the
Superliminal.
PlayStation State of Play.
Didn't realize this game was already out on PC. Superliminal.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez.
Boy, bird watching game.
Oh wow, that's.
Oh, it's a bird watching tabletop game. Okay. Dicey Dungeons.
Ooh,
right?
I've seen gameplay of this. It looks really fun.
Yeah. Wasn't that also in State of Play? I feel like I've seen this before somewhere.
I don't remember that.
Anti-Battle. What's this low FPS?
Oh, this was okay. This
Smash
was the
clone.
game I was telling you about like a year ago. It's like it's basically Smash Brothers indie game.
Okay. The frame rate looked terrible.
Yes. That's like the first piece of
This looks
gameplay
fun.
I've seen.
This
of
looks
it.
like it's an Overcooked style game.
Wasn't this on? No, that wasn't the Stadia game. Never mind. It just looks similar.
Let's see what they're gonna end on
It was
then.
a pleasure.
Yeah.
And it still is, because we
Let's-
have one more
let's see
thing
if-
to share.
Let's
Fire it
see what
up.
is.
Is this a Gungeon thing?
The past.
Might be. It looks like a Gungeon thing already.
Is it the
Yeah.
dungeon?
Yeah. Enter the Gungeon
Yep.
sequel.
Yep.
Nice.
Everybody loves Enter the Gungeon. I have not played it. Worth
Dude,
playing?
Oh, I've
Neither
never
have
played it either.
I own it though.
It's good. I like it. It's one of the. It's one of the roguelikes I can actually like tolerate because it's designed really well.
Is there gonna be
So
some
2D
Metroid
platformer
something
now,
at the
right?
end of the trailer?
And Enter the Gungeon into a 2D game.
Oh, we're already getting the no silk song.
Wait for team. Didn't they say like when it comes out or something like that, or like we'll tell you whenever?
Yeah, exit the Gungeon.
No,
This looks fun.
Exit the Gungeon. Nice.
cool.
But they announced that before.
Whether you dare
Yeah.
to enter the Gungeon or not, be prepared to exit.
This game picks up right where the last one left off. And developer Dodgeroll has somehow managed to make the Arsenal Pact extravaganza we know as the Gungeon even more intense. Packing it with hundreds of weapons, and
Whoa!
items, shifting
What?
rooms, and plenty of
Let's
battle
see.
Oh well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Exit the Gungeon.
Oh, it's nice. It comes
Oh!
out today.
Shadow
That's
Drop.
crazy.
Console exclusive.
Shadow Drop.
Later today.
Nice.
Pretty boss.
Well, everyone, it was a pleasure. Really.
And it's over. For real this time.
But on behalf of Nintendo, we just want to take a minute to say thank you to our indie world community. and
That's
all the
it, no
developers out there
Smash.
Just as passionate about indie games as
That's
all you
it,
fans
no
that play
Hollow
the Nintendo
Knight.
Switch.
And thanks to all of
It's
you.
a shame that
Now I'm
I
gonna
mean,
For more of
starve.
the latest news from the indie
I mean,
world
I did
community,
want Silk Song
be
to
sure
be
to
on there. I also
follow
wanted
Nintendo of
Shantae
America's
to be
just
on there.
launched
That'd have been
official
nice.
Indie World
That's
Twitter
it. No dusk.
at Indie World NA. Until next time.
No, just those
happy
two.
gaming.
See ya.
I mean, there were some cool games on there. Enter the Gungeon sequel being there is pretty neat too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how anyone could have expected the Cuphead DLC to be mentioned in this. There's no fucking way it will ever. Like the Cuphead DLC will not be in like any.
I think it's gonna get
Nintendo
delayed again.
Direct.
I mean, it'll show up in one eventually, but it's what we're going to get new information on.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
they did already say that. What was it? Physical edition comes out when the DLC is
The
ready.
DLC
so I
comes
imagine
out.
that they would announce it at that point later.
Yeah, but they'll probably announce it themselves or in even just an Xbox one instead of Nintendo one, seeing as that's where Cuphead started.
That's it. No GameCube 2. Rad said this was a weak indie direct. Mixed, I guess. I feel like there was less.
It was
games.
pretty alright.
I
the
think
last one? Even in the
I
same
always
time?
really hate talking about these indie directs, if only because like as I said at the beginning of it, like everyone's always immediately like, ooh, like what sequel to an indie game I recognize will be announced, and like these indie directs usually don't feature that. They're just like smaller new releases. I actually really hate just like the attitude towards these indie directs, just simply because like everyone loves to parrot the same old like AAA games bad, indie good, but then people always act like indie games aren't real games anyway. That being said, Cyanide and Happiness adventure game is really neato because I feel like I'd like that a lot more than a card game. Blair Witch Coming is really neat. Quantum League looks pretty great. And the new Annapurna game, I Am Dead, that looks pretty fun too. And I like that. The Hello Games one, the name, the Last Campfire. That looks like it could be. I want to see more of it, but I want to know.
Yeah, could be nice. I like Moving Out. Moving Out looked like it'd be a fun co-op puzzle game.
I think like the one game
and Good Life. I want to see. Oh. Like that. I want to see more of that to make sure that looks good.
What was the name of the first game that they showed off? Blue Flare?
Blue Fire.
Blue Fire?
Yeah, Blue Fire looked fun.
Yeah,
Blue Fire was probably my
the same. I think that was the game that wowed me the most. And not like the other games didn't look good. It's just that like that's kind of like
I like interesting 3D platforming like that.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like all the other ones they look good. But that one makes me like, wow, I definitely want to keep my eye on that one the most.
Actually, it just struck me. It just occurred to me. We're getting Blair Witch before Layers of Fear 2?
Apparently.
Because they said, like, yeah, we're making a Switch version of Layers of Fear 2. They didn't say they were going to make one. This is like a brand new announcement of Blair Witch. And it's like, wait, we're getting that before Layers of Fear 2? It's a newer game. That's wild.
Apparently, but no. Baldo, I think looks good. I think Baldo looks fun. It's nice to see. I like to see the idea of Japanese RPG tackled by a non-Japanese studio to see what sort of Western differences they can bring to it, both in terms of like gameplay and style. So I think that one looks pretty neat to me. Summer in Mara. Sorry, I think I need to actually see more about because I'm not sure on that one yet. To be honest. And I think that's it for all the ones I'm particularly bothered about. I've never actually played Enter the Gungeon, so I can't really comment on Exit the Gungeon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm eventually going to play. No. Let me correct myself. I'm eventually going to buy Enter the Gungeon when it's on sale, and then I may or may not play it.
I think it was on sale for like $2.99 at one point. Like,
it was
not too long ago.
I mean, it was, but I have to wait for when it's on sale, and I feel like buying something.
It was also.
I mean, if they pull the same thing as like they did with Cadence of Hyrule, maybe it will go on. The first Enter the Gungeon will go on sale like now to get people into
probably.
it, like they did with Crypt of the Necrodancer. And then you can just get it now and never play it.
Yeah,
Spazzy, don't let that Splatoon 2 concert autoplay. What are you doing?
Oh no,
Spazzy, Phantom. There we go.
No. I heard it right around there. Oh, nope, not gonna do that.
Don't do that. I saw it out of the corner of my eye and I went, I mean, I like the video games. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm excited for Good Life because I already put money into it. So, like, naturally, I am already excited. I'm excited enough that I put money into it early. So, yeah, just
two
pump it
things.
into my veins.
One, I'm a little sick, so sorry if I'm sounding a little muffled. I don't think it's coronavirus. Could be. Who knows? Two, I think all of these indie presentations are always going to be somewhat of a disappointment because everyone's just expecting another Nintendo IP/indie game. Ever since they did the Crypt of the Necrodancer Cadence of Hyrule game.
But people
but it's just like in the back of everybody's head, that's what it is.
I think also too is like we didn't like the first indies we had for Switch also had like Travis Strikes Again at like the end of it. So like people like even before the Nintendo one, it's kind of like I guess people kind of got their hypes up a lot for like bigger indie games. Air quotes.
I feel like this happens every single
Cuphead was also
indie direct though. That's the problem. Like people always talk about Cuphead, Cadence of Hyrule, and No More Heroes, but that's like what 2. That was actually just because Cuphead and Cadence were in the same one. So that's just 2 indie directs out of all of the ones we get, and we tend to get like 4 a year. So
4 a year, do we?
It was like 3 or 4 a year. We get one around now. We tend to get one around E3. We get one right before Gamescom. And then I think we get one towards the end of the year, like before PAX, I think. I want to say. We get about 4.
Okay. So
yeah, out of those 4, it's only been 2 that have had like these ridiculous, almost non-indie announcements in them.
When's Gamescom?
Gamescom is the end of August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, Europe tends to do one around then, and then I don't know when PAX is, but that's a more American thing. So America then does their one.
Okay.
Then the Gamescom and PAX ones just tend to show off games that are going to be at the event, which No More Heroes was at Gamescom. So, but yeah, I think it was a fine though. I think it was fine. Indie Direct.
It wasn't bad. It was just okay.
Expected.
The only thing is that it definitely felt like because all the other ones are just like the same amount of time. I just felt like this one had less games. Either that or just because the trailers were longer. I guess. I don't know. It felt like there was less in the same amount of time compared to.
I think we might just be getting used to the fact that regular directs were always like 40 minutes, and this was half the time.
Well, these are always
short.
These are always really short. They're always been like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people go into these expecting like big, crazy announcements. Like, I mean, we do get like occasionally like a Cuphead, and we're like, whoa, but like that's like not even like the bulk.
I'd always like to see Deltarune, and I just won't say it because I don't want to disappoint myself. Like, yeah, it's not realistic.
I always go into these things with the literal just like no expectations because I'm just like, okay, like all right, like video games.
I just want people to know about the indie games that I'm currently interested in, like that one game, Amori. There's other indie games too that just also don't come to Switch. It's like, well, at that point, it's like, well, you can't do anything about it. They just stay on PC and itch.io.
Is Amori even coming to Switch?
Yes.
I don't even think
after it was gonna come to PSP and 3DS, but then I believe PS Vita. My bad. PS Vita and 3DS, and then I think they just moved it. They're gonna move it over.
Even then, I feel like, as I said earlier, I feel like the problem with having big indies in these indie directs is that they completely overshadow everything else.
It's true, they do.
And
I
wouldn't
call Amori a big one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like at that point they might as well put like Cuphead could have very easily have been just a regular direct announcement.
Yeah.
Like that's same thing with like Cadence, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is true. I think that is an issue with them, and I mean, No More Heroes 3 isn't an indie game, so people shouldn't be expecting that in this direct anyway. But No More Heroes 3 isn't an indie game.
Oh, okay.
Travis Strikes Again. The only reason Travis Strikes Again was in an indie direct is because it had indie collaborations in it, and they made a big point of that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with Corlin. Stuff like Shantae's Silk Song and all that could very well get by in having their own segment in a regular direct because they're on that border of being indie but also too big to be indie.
Mm-hmm. Some comments. Can we really consider Shantae an indie if WayForward is a well-established developer? Yes. I
mean, indie just means that it's self-published.
Yeah.
So WayForward are in a weird board where most of their games are self-published, but they have the occasional ones that aren't. Mm-hmm. And I mean, obviously, when they start publishing other companies' games, then they shouldn't really be considered indie anymore, which is kind of what Yacht Club Games has started doing. They've begun publishing others, so realistically, Yacht Club Games shouldn't be considered an indie company anymore. This is why the term indie is really iffy.
I thought indie was just about like if you're making like.
No, because if you take indie by the literal, you publish games independently on your own, then Nintendo themselves are an indie developer because they publish their own games independently.
But they own other studios, so they're not independent at all. And they're also not owned by other companies, but they also have like investments from other companies and stuff like that.
But I mean, that's not to say a lot of indie companies will have investments from other companies. Like that's how they get money to make the games. If it's not done through something like Kickstarter, they'll have an investment.
I feel like Kickstarter.
Why? Hey, Marth XD. No.
Yeah, I was gonna
tell you.
I was gonna read it. I was like, I don't understand what he's talking about.
I'm the biggest like, hey, play more games guy. So like, I'm sorry that Hollow Knight 2: Revenge of the the Shovel Knight was not at the indie conference.
Interesting that you call yourself the Play More Game Guys when you wouldn't endorse Resident Evil 7 Cloud Edition. Sure, okay.
Yeah, because that's not a game. That's
Yes,
a video experience.
It's experience and frustration.
It's a 35 megabyte streaming application.
Sorry, you're telling me people shouldn't play
I think you're getting
Phantasy
Resident
Star
Evil
Online
7
2.
Switch Edition mixed up with Nitro.
Please let's sneeze.
Ah man, what? So like, going back to the indie thing. Like, so wait, so like, say for instance, what's some other indie games like? Not River City Girls. So that's not indie technically. Made by any developer, but not an indie franchise or something like that.
What are we going on about?
Me and Nantan were talking about what's making something indie.
Counts as an indie,
Yeah.
and I said that the term's super vague. So, like people have different definitions about what they feel is indie.
So like, Cadence of Hyrule wouldn't be an indie game, right?
No, technically not, because I mean, it's made by a smaller studio.
It's made by indie developers, but because of the Nintendo.
Yeah, it was made by an indie developer, and it had Nintendo's backing, and it was It had a publisher as well.
Right.
I can't remember who the publisher was. But it had
Nintendo.
one. No, it wasn't Nintendo.
Nintendo didn't
didn't
publish
actually
it?
publish Cadence of Hyrule. No.
Oh wow! Wait, but it's on their website. So their press website.
Published it in some maybe they published it in some regions. They didn't
Okay.
publish it in every region. Trying to think who the other publisher was. Give me 1 second. I'm pretty sure it wasn't published by Nintendo in some regions. God, I can't remember now. Maybe I'm mistaken or something. I don't know. I don't really care. My point is, it's very vague what actually counts as indie. Spike Chunsoft, that was it. Spike Chunsoft published the game. Yeah, Spike Chunsoft published Cadence of Hyrule in Japan.
That's weird. Why
if you look up indie gaming on Wikipedia, it says an independent games refers to games typically created by individuals or smaller development teams without the financial support of a large game publisher.
Yeah, I think
that's it.
Haitani gets it completely right. Indie used to simply mean independent, but now it's more of a marketing buzzword, because it's totally true. Because like, I feel like stuff like Hollow Knight and Shovel Knight and Knight,
any other night.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those. I mean, I wouldn't even clarify Blair. Like, I guess certainly wouldn't call Blair Witch an indie game. That's more like a double A game or something. Like a really kind of mid-budget, like mid-tier budgeted. Like, it doesn't have a big team behind it, but it's definitely a larger production.
If you have a developed studio where people go to work every day and there's 200 employees, can you really be called independent?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, they announced
Way
the Blair
forward.
Witch game at. It is so weird. They announced that Blair Witch game at Microsoft's E3 conference.
Oh wow!
We reacted to it. And it was
Yeah,
funny.
we did. And now it's part of the indie world.
That's weird.
Like, it's kind of off balance.
I don't know if I would still say like independent is definitely used as a marketing buzzword. I'll agree with that, but I also feel like there's still like so much more to it, but it kind of gets mixed up because, like, say for instance, before like, I'm gonna use this as an example, even though some people probably wouldn't look at them as an example of indies. Platinum Games, they're not owned by anyone. All their games are with other companies. But like, say if they released like Project, what's it called? Project GG. That, I think that's what it's called. If they're self-publishing that and they don't have any like outside of, was it Tencent or whatever it's called?
Here's the best way to put it. The best way to put it. Is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice an independent game?
What I don't.
An
know
indie game.
Because
that is made by oh god, I don't want to get the company name wrong.
Ninja
Theory.
Yeah, Ninja Theory, because everyone says Team Ninja, and then it's like, no, that's the Dead or Alive people.
I'm sorry.
No, because that is made by That is made by Ninja Theory, and they are like a big, like several hundred like people work there, and they made like a really nice big like AAA style like video game.
Okay.
However, they released it for $30 by themselves.
Okay, several questions. Well, first off,
with no publisher.
How much it costs, I don't think it really matters. Indie games, you could still be an indie game and it costs like $30. I don't know why people do that. I'm not saying that you do that, but people would think like, oh, it's a $20 game. It doesn't matter.
Because people conflate digital value games as indie, even though that's not what it means.
Yeah.
Also, like,
like
a game.
Capcom can make a $15 Bionic Commando game. It's not an indie. It's a Capcom game.
Yeah. So like you said that they self-published it, right?
Yeah.
Is that company like? And wait, aren't they owned by Microsoft now?
Oh, they are, but they were,
but not when Hellblade
when they
came
made
out.
it, right? Are they invested? Do they have not? Was not invested. Well, no, yeah. Does any other company?
They were using money that they just had left over from other projects they did, but they didn't get any like external investing.
Then it's indie. It's an indie game.
Well,
but what I'm saying is, would you put something like Hellblade in this, or would you say it's too like high production value and too like big boy?
So here's the thing: didn't Nintendo not do that?
I think Hellblade could have definitely been in this. I mean, it might have been one of those situations where it would have overshadowed everything else because of the prestige, but Hellblade could have definitely gotten away with being in it.
So here's the question: are indie games made by independent game studios, or are they something else?
Independent game.
Independent.
My point is that it's a. Oh, there goes Nan.
Yeah,
my point is just that it's like I'm agreeing with Haitani. It's a buzzword. It's just like
right. Like we brought up WayForward, and WayForward's always an interesting one because if you go to their LinkedIn, number of employees, company size between 51 to 200, and you can view all 141 employees on LinkedIn. So they have between 100 to 200 employees. Is that an indie company at that point?
Because the way that I personally looked at it was that you're an indie game if an indie game is just an indie game if like the developers are making it without like any outside interference. So say for instance, there's probably some things that
but Capcom or Nintendo or any giant publisher can make a game and fund it themselves. That's in fact how most of their games are made.
Let me finish. So the thing, like for like an independent developer, right? Like so say for instance, like what did I just use as an example? Oh, the Cadence of Hyrule team. So like they can't do whatever they want with in that game because Nintendo's properties are in that game, right? So they can't just do whatever they want. That's not. I don't think that's an indie game anymore, even though it is made by like a famous indie team, I guess now. But
what makes somebody an indie team? I guess is what I'm saying. What makes you an indie studio? So like, where's the threshold?
If you're not invested in by like any other companies to the point where it affects part of your like development process. So like, and it's not in the creative process in the sense that you don't have to limit some of the things that you want to do, not because you can't do it, but because another company has say over you, and that you'll lose like that interest from that company.
But then you have like Rockstar makes their own games, and Rockstar is a AAA studio.
Does
what makes them
Rockstar
AAA?
own anybody else, or are they invested in by other companies?
So you're saying if a company's publicly traded, they become, or other companies own a piece of that company?
That's the way I viewed it. Yeah.
Is Blizzard independent?
No.
You could argue that like
aren't they owned by Activision?
No, they don't. They're like their own side company. But for the longest time, they just did everything themselves. They didn't have a publisher.
They didn't have a publisher, and they
like would it be like that's the reason why this whole argument is like weird, is just because it's like, would you call World of Warcraft an indie game? They didn't have a publisher behind it. It was just Blizzard being Blizzard.
And that was before they were bought by Activision as well.
Yeah, like
and at that point they were an established developer. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. Is Minecraft an indie game? Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
Minecraft is like the prototypical indie game. It was made by like 3 people.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's because it's owned by Microsoft. But up until the 1.0 launch, absolutely, it was like the like, yeah,
the quintessential.
Yeah, the quintessential example. Anyway, I think we can end it there. I don't think there's really much.
I'll
nothing
definitely
else to talk about.
I'll think about it more later on my own then. Okay.
Yeah, we can. I feel like we should have this conversation every time we do a recording, just no matter what it is.
All right. So talk to you guys later. Thanks you guys for coming to watch the stream. We'll see you guys. I think they wanted was it Triss and A Shadow were talking about playing Mario Party or something. I don't know if that still happened, but if it does
Colin,
happen,
let's play Contra. Let's do that
you
thing.
guys could do
I own that game. Yeah.
We're just really like we're just teasing Huff at this point, but yeah.
Hey, can you actually play the Contra collection games online? I never checked. No, right? Only local.
I don't think so.
That would be great. I'd rather play those. I mean, I bought the first one, so I'm gonna play Rogue Legacy. Is that what it's called? I game my own.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys later. Stream's going off. So
Totals.
Later.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and wash your
Bye-bye.
hands.